one of the differences between personal power and role power is that role power is fixed to a context, or it should be fixed to a context. Right? The relationship that we're in right now, this role power relationship we have, as me as facilitator, you as participant, it's fixed to this hour that we're spending together. Right? And it's fixed to this context. Once that context goes away, we can have a different type of relationship. There might be a different role, right? Or it might be a personal power type relationship where we're just chatting over coffee, right? It's negotiated, right? Which means that some level, there's usually a value exchange of some kind that exists in a role power dynamic, right? So you're hopefully getting value as a participant. I'm getting value as a facilitator, right? Oftentimes we'll see, it's the easiest roles to see are the ones that are salaried or rewarded and externally granted. So you're hired into a role, and with that role comes a job description, right? Should be clear. And I would say of the different types of power, role power is the clearest, or clear-ish, I put on there, right? Because there is a job description. There is some sense of what the expectations are, what we hope to accomplish together, the limits of your power or authority. I think we can do a much better job of this 9 times out of 10 in our defining role power in organizations, but it should be relatively clear. It automatically suggests a relationship. You can't have a facilitator with no participants. That's just me talking to my computer, right? And so you can't have a teacher without a student. You can't have a lawyer without a client. There is a dynamic there. There automatically suggests a relationship. That might be follower and leader, kind of at the broad, the broadest lens. Those are formal roles. We also have informal roles, or less formal, less salaried, family roles. I'm a father and I'm a husband, but I'm not just a father to 3 kids. I'm a father to Felix, and I'm a father to Hudson, and I'm a father to Susie. And that role is different with each of them because their needs are different and their level of personal power is different. And so we start to see the intersections here. It should hopefully be very purposeful, right? So this role exists for a reason. There's an impact or an outcome in the world that we're going for. I put here distinct from personal power, but often confused. And this is probably the crux of it for a lot of folks, is disentangling themselves, their personality, their personal power from the other types. Right? I don't know about you. I've got some friends in authority type roles like the police or the fire department or pilots, people with lots of role power in their context, who take that identity or that piece of themselves, that role, and it transfers into the other areas of their life. Right? They become the friend who's a firefighter who's always on, even when they're not on shift. Right? It becomes a part of them, and that gets tricky. That gets challenging in relationships because the power dynamics get blurry, because you're not actually, that person in this role, right, anymore. That's your job. But here in the house as a father, we actually need this as a different kind of role. And my wife will often bug me to stop social working her, right? If I get a little bit too coachy or social worky in my approach, be a husband, be a father, don't be a social worker.